One survey finds that more than half of Filipinos work extra jobs. A survey by Agile Data Solutions found that 60% of Filipinos have part-time jobs, particularly the younger generation. The study says Filipinos look for extra jobs for more financial stability. Part-time jobs also help Filipinos boost their income as they grapple with high prices amid elevated inflation. Call center roles were found to be top of the list of part-time positions Filipinos look for. The survey also found work from home as the top preference for working arrangements across all ages. Here to talk to us more about the results of their survey, we have with us on the show Jason Gaguan, Chairman and CEO of Agile Data Solutions. Good morning, Jason. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get right to it, Jason. More than half of Filipinos have part-time work. This is a big number. Just how crucial is part-time work given the current economic situation? In other words, necessity ba ang part-time work para lang you have a decent life in this economy?
Okay, so there are different perspectives on this, right? So in the study, we found out that there's a variation between how it is perceived by Gen Zs, the younger generations, and millennials and Gen Xers. So for Gen Zs, part-time work is seen actually, which is surprising, as their kind of full-time work. They juggle different part-time jobs and treat it like their full-time job. While for the millennials and Gen Xers, they see part-time work to augment their existing career or their existing full-time job. So if I'm talking about spending power, then you see that the increment in spending power is more on the older generation. We see it more on the millennials and the Gen Xers compared to the Gen Z, who sees it as their real work or their source of income, their main source of income.
Okay, so wait, just to clarify, you see that Gen Zs have multiple part-time works and they don't have their primary work. So in other words, are you saying this is more of like a situation wherein they want to have the flexibility of time?
Okay, so just to clarify, data-wise, most of Gen Zs still have full-time jobs, but we are seeing the growth. We're seeing this growth, this trend of growing Gen Zs where they prefer multiple part-time jobs. So yes, you are correct. So Gen Zs right now, we are seeing that they want to go beyond the 8 to 5 barrier and prefer jobs that are more results-oriented. And also, it's an added bonus to that results-oriented jobs mostly can be accomplished at home.
That's right, that's right. And what do you personally think of the current situation in the workforce? Of course, more jobs means more demand to boost economic growth. Pero nawawala naman ang mga tao ng work-life balance, so to speak. And so stress levels are off the charts. So what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so let us dig in first to the data and how part-time work evolved, right? So the interesting thing is when you think of part-time work in the internet economy, the first thing that comes to our mind, or at least in my mind, is the gig economy. You go to when you think of part-time work, the first thing you think of is Food Panda, Grab, like outside of their work, they drive or they do this apps, right? This multi-platform apps. But the movement right now, platform work, of part-time work is more on office work. So as you have seen from as they call blue-collar jobs, it's moving towards office work like sales agents, part-time call centers, virtual assistants. So this is the new type of work. If we go now towards towards work-life balance, I think there are different perspectives on how to tackle it. Because if we move towards part-time work, we see that these jobs are results-oriented, meaning they are not given like, okay, you need to be at work for 8 hours or 9 hours. What is given to these people are more of targets. So, for example, if you're a virtual assistant, you need to be able to set these numbers of meetings, or your replies to me should be within a certain number of minutes. No, so everything is more structured, and then everything is more it is more clear what is expected from the person. And I think Gen Z's work in such a manner where they could handle their time better if they are asked for the results rather than asked to stay for a certain for a certain time, no? But when we go to the older generations, here we see a little more stressful situation because these people, they have existing careers, existing 8 to 5 jobs, and to augment that, they have in the evening, which is the time slot for Australia or
Yes.
for the US, and then this is where they extend their time a little more, which is yes, I see become a little more hassle. But again, the good thing about it is the employment here is a little more free. If you feel that it's a little bit stressful, it is quite easy to stop your contract and to move to another one that could give you better time management or better stress management.
Okay, you're talking about generations, younger and the older. Now, a lot of, definitely, we're seeing a lot of younger generations involved in part-time jobs. Now, my question is, how about the older generations? Are there still a lot of them are doing this on the sidelines?
Yes, so we are seeing the growth trend here. Now, of course, Gen Zs, it's much bigger, but we're seeing growth here. Because if we look at the part-time jobs available outside, of course, of information technology jobs, most of these jobs are not really skill heavy, or meaning
Okay.
you do not need to be technically savvy. Most of these jobs follow certain clear processes, clear organizational roles. So skill set wise, maybe you be younger or older, it is quite open.
Okay, work from home, they appeal to all ages, definitely. But do
Yes.
you see this being a major driver of economic growth in the years to come?
Okay, so there are a lot of perspectives to work from home and economic growth, right? Because work from home, as we have seen, may affect a lot of industries. In the real estate industry, as you have seen in the past few years, the drop of condo prices in our in central business
Okay.
districts in the country, or even the drop of rent for brick and mortar stores, right?
Yeah.
So there's that effect there. But also on the other end, it has opened a lot new industries. Yeah, as you have explained a while ago, e-commerce has been growing, though again, it's a very small part still of brick and mortar, but it is growing.
That's
We
right.
have seen you in the yes, and then we have seen areas outside of the CBDs becoming to develop. The real estate prices increase because people choose to move out of the city. So it's somehow of a balance. You would see that it would balance out. But at the end of the day, as we are creating more jobs, we're creating more value, and then even for people, because in the data we see that women are almost at par, or even more than men on part-time jobs. They get it, especially single moms
Okay.
who at some level, are put in the house. So at the end of the day, this work from home scenario may affect some industries, but new industries grow, and then more jobs, more opportunities, and the supply just keeps coming from outsourced from other countries. So I think it's gonna grow, it's gonna continue, and at the end of the day, it will balance out, and it will be good.
You're talking about it's gaining popularity, but what positions are most sought for part-time work? I mean, what are the emerging industries, and you think this is sustainable? Like I've seen online sites such as Upwork, and is also selling on TikTok Shop considered part-time work?
Oh yeah, yeah. So e-commerce, selling on TikTok is considered e-commerce work, right? So because you are selling, actually on TikTok there are a lot of ways, or in different e-commerce or social media channels, there are a lot of ways to sell. So there are direct sellers, so you can sell products that you buy or products that you create. But there are also affiliate programs where if you are a person who have a certain following, you can share links to e-commerce sites and earn from that. So it's like micro influencers or even smaller than that. So
Okay.
there are a lot of opportunities. That's one trend that is growing, though it is still not yet cracked. We are seeing that TikTok shops are still not there, and well, they're having problems also in other countries because they're being banned. But in the Philippines, there is a trend of it growing, but we're still not there. But on part-time work, I think it is more of the clerical office jobs that are
Okay.
being outsourced. So you're looking at virtual assistants with secretaries and things like this, right? Is it sustainable? Well, the everything, no, the whole platform is changing. It is
Okay.
changing. So at the end of the day, we know that the job that is being done now may be quite different from the job that is being that is needed next year or in
Yes.
3 years, 4 years. But one thing is for sure, there will be a consistent supply of these jobs. And also, with the internet and everything, I think one thing we could do is really upskill ourselves and learn. There are a lot of opportunities to learn even in the internet, so that we could be relevant as on these changing environments.
But of course, I think it's been a trend this last few months from another network having AI news anchors or news presenters. Now, what is your take on AI as being part of being integrated into emerging jobs or industries?
Okay, so I'll split it into two. So first, I wanna discuss how AI coming in would disrupt the workforce. But as we have seen in through different innovations through time, when technology comes in, yes, it disrupts some jobs, but it doesn't really eliminate jobs. Instead,
okay.
it opens new opportunities. So for AI, for example, if you would see, AI just doesn't learn from nothing. AI learns from human inputs, right? So there are a lot of opportunities for people to help AIs learn.
Okay.
And then also another thing is guiding the AI. Also, there are a lot of jobs that are being opened up by this integration of AI on the workforce. It would affect it, of course, in such a manner, but it would not remove. For example, if you have 100 people, it would not remove the 100 people. What will happen is this 100 people would now need to upskill, because there are new tasks for them to be able to add value, given that there's AI in the market.
Yeah, the key is upskill, and very interesting insights, Jason. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have, but we hope to have you back on the show. Thank you for joining us, Jason Gaguan, Chairman and CEO of Agile Data Solutions.